Welcome. Hi, this is Katie from Katie Klein Soulshine. I'm a conscious lifestyle coach, intuitive psychic medium, Reiki master, and I also help people to connect with their soul purpose and soul mission. Today, I'm with my friend Sarah Strable. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, good. I'm starting a little interview series where I'm talking to different people about modalities that they share. So today we're going to talk to Sarah about one of the modalities that she shares as an energy healing practitioner, and it is called Polarity Therapy. I know some people may not be familiar with that modality, so I thought it would be really neat to have Sarah come on and just share with us a little more about kind of what she does and what polarity therapy is and what you can expect from a session if you work with Sarah. So I think what we should start with is Sarah shared with me her soul purpose mission earlier, and I thought it was really beautiful. So I asked her if she would share that today to kind of start off, and then we'll talk a little more about how that soul purpose mission relates to her practice and what she shares with others. So Sarah, if you could tell us a little more about your soul purpose.
Thank you, Katie. I feel so honored to be here with you today, and I would love the opportunity to share that. So I invite others to step into the freedom of their true, expansive, connected, divine selves.
Yes.
And I do that through everything that I do, and I feel so blessed to be able to do everything that I do. And I teach yoga and I work with hemp, but what we're talking about today is polarity therapy. And it's everything that I do is really about empowering people to take control of their health, to have sovereignty, and to know that, you know, if we can work together to get rid of what is not serving you and then give the body what it needs, the body can heal itself. And it's just, I think underneath all energy medicine is this understanding that life is so miraculous and beautiful and divine. And even just looking at it from a biological perspective, you know, every millisecond in our bodies, there are miracles happening. You know, our heart is pumping, we're breathing without thinking about it. Our cells are doing their thing on their little level, and our organs are detoxifying for us. And that's just on a biological level. That's not even on the multiple layers that we are. And so helping people to, one, remember that. And somewhere along the line, we've forgotten as humans, even though our brains are more evolved and developed than the rest of the animal kingdom, somehow we've forgotten that we have the innate ability to heal ourselves.
Right.
And, you know, even a little turtle swimming in the pond that's full of bacteria and algae and who knows, viruses, if that turtle gets hurt, that organism knows how to heal itself.
Yeah.
And, you know, as long as he can get food and water, he's going to heal.
Yeah.
And we've somehow tended to give our power away. So I'm really passionate about helping people take their power back and helping them remember how to heal themselves.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. So well said, Sarah. Absolutely. And I know you and I share a very similar mission with helping people to come back to who they really are and be able to heal and connect mind, body, spirit. It's all related. One thing we don't often talk about is our energetic health. We're energetic beings, you know, so I'd love to share a little bit more about polarity therapy. And if you could tell us just a little more about that and how it relates to your mission as well.
Sure. Thank you. Polarity therapy, like I said, is energy medicine. It's really a holistic system of healing. So it includes some energetic body work, which, you know, I do in my office. It includes polarity exercises, which are kind of a combination of yoga and qigong. It includes some dietary stuff, and then looking at a person's consciousness and their attitudes toward life, and sometimes includes a little bit of somatic work, so some sensory awareness in the body, some breath work. It's really quite a complex system, but really when it comes down to it, like what I said before, we're looking at what is in the body that is preventing it from healing itself.
Right.
So whether that's, you know, physical toxins, or on an energetic level, it might be, you know, stuck energy, or
Blockages.
yeah, yes, that's kind of the simplest way to say it. Congested energy.
Yeah.
And
Not free flowing.
Yeah. And so we have, one of my teachers says that we are instruments of God, that we really are, but just like any instrument, we have to tune ourselves. And because if you're not balanced, and then that chord, when you play the chord of your daily life, it's going to be ugly and bothersome to you and to everyone around you, probably. So really, you know, we look at the energy centers of the body, which in a lot of traditions are known as chakras, right? And those correlate with elements. So earth, water, fire, air, ether. And really throughout life, as we encounter stressors and just go through our days, everything is constantly in flux, right? Just like the cells in our body and the hormones, and our body is maintaining that homeostasis. Well, we have an energetic homeostasis too, where these elements are constantly in play with each other. And, you know, the goal is to have a balance.
Right.
And sometimes they get out of balance. And so if you think of it like, it really is like music, and we want harmony. Yeah. Right. And life can be a really beautiful thing if we are in tune and if harmony is going on. But if that one thing is a little
triggers
out of tune, then it's like, oh, that hurts my ears. As a musician, I can really identify with that. So through polarity therapy, we can hopefully sooner than later identify where those places are that are out of balance and get back into balance. And then also empower people with tools that they can do at home, like the exercises, or adjust their diet to bring those elements back into balance a little bit too. So it's a pretty deep rabbit hole that you go down describing this, but I think that's a pretty good simplified summary.
Yes, that was gorgeous. Exactly. I really resonated with that. It's true. It's like we have to do some work, you know, it's like you would brush your teeth, make sure you take care of your energetic health as well, because it's all connected in your experience. So we have all these external triggers, and we can really figure out what that's showing us for if there's something within that's unbalanced. Oftentimes those external triggers can be our mirror as well, not just with doing emotional healing work, but you know, our energetics can be off too from those things. So, you know, like solar plexus being the center of power, you know, where you feel disempowered, then you can have some energy issues in your solar plexus, right? So clearing and balancing is really essential for feeling whole and balanced and peaceful. You know, you won't feel as much anxiety and things like that. So, you know, it's similar to Reiki in that way. You know, and really beautiful. I love how you shared that. I wanted to see if you could share a little more about, for somebody who's thinking about, you know, having a session with you, what would that be like, and what would it be like for a polarity therapy session?
Okay, sure. That's a really good question. So usually a session lasts somewhere between an hour and a half. And the first session usually a little bit longer because we would do an intake to kind of assess your different elemental,
Right.
tendencies. You could say symptoms, but the elements show up in our lives in a variety of ways. So we look at that, and then of course address, see where the person is in their physical body and their emotional body that day, and then whatever, if anything, is bothering them or if they're concerned about something. So that's the intake process. And then a really nice thing I think for people is that most of the time it does not require disrobing. So people keep their clothes on. Occasionally we might do something on the back. I do work with the feet and sometimes the ears, so you might take your socks off. But and then from there, it's really guided by what we've found somewhat in the intake, as far as what elements might be out of balance, but also just intuitively what I'm sensing or feeling in the person's body. And so as far as what the session feels like, I'd say a very consistent comment is always that it's very, very relaxing. Sometimes too relaxing.
Sometimes people go to sleep. I encourage it. I'm like, sure, you probably, need that time to rest, and your body will just be really receptive and take it all in.
Yeah. Or some people have said, I had to sit in my car for 10 minutes afterwards.
Oh, get grounded.
So relaxed. I was like floating out. So I would say it's very relaxing for everyone. But other than that, there are 3 types of touch in polarity therapy. There's light touch, which could be off the body or barely on the body. There's rocking touch, and then there's more pressure, not tremendous, but that can be adjusted also for the client's preferences. So it can feel similar to massage in some ways. However, a polarity therapist's intention is never working with the tissues of the body. If I'm pressing on a point, it's not because I'm thinking about releasing that muscle. It's
energy.
Yes, it's total energetic intention. So, and every session is totally different, and every person's experience is different. Some people have walked away and they're like, oh, wow, I'm really relaxed. That was really nice. Yeah. And other people after their session are like, oh my gosh, I was in this tropical paradise and this goddess came and visited me under the waterfall.
Right. Huge insights afterwards. Synchronicities.
So there's a wide variety of experiences. Sometimes there can be emotional release. I've had someone have, something kind of popped and then the tears just came flowing out. So everyone's experience is different, and but it's always beautiful and
a nice release.
Yes. Yeah. So I hope that answered the question.
It made me excited. I'm like, I'm ready to come in for my session. So, and Sarah mentioned too, intuitively she knows where to go and where to work, along with the information that you share. Yeah, she's very intuitive as well. And a lot of us kind of opening up that divine feminine, intuitive, receptive place are, incorporating a lot of that intuitive work in with the energy work. So I find that really beautiful too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another thing I forgot to mention, every practitioner is different. They have a little different style and different flavor. So, if someone was researching and went on and watched a video of polarity therapy, it might be similar to what I do, but it might be completely different than what I do. And what I would say about myself as a practitioner, and what I've heard other people say, is the way that God made me was I'm very nurturing, and some practitioners are more aggressive, and some are more clinical, and some are very, very spiritual. And what a good word for me, I would say, is nurturing.
Grounded spirituality, nurturing
Yes.
divine feminine, right? Gentle love. Because,
Yes.
you know, sometimes if you're too extreme, it's not very loving. You know what I mean? It's like you want to take care of the body in a gentle and comfortable way, you know? So, I mean, of course, you know, people need different things at different times, but yeah, we each have our own energy signature. And that's part of our soul purpose and soul mission is we have this unique energy signature. So yes, every practitioner completely different. And so I think that's another reason why it's nice to come on video, because people can connect with you and your energy. And they can say, oh yeah, I really feel Sarah. I really feel like I should work with her. My energy would align with her. So I love that you shared what, you know, you do in the session, and then people can also feel into their resonance and kind of connect with you in this way.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for providing this opportunity to share.
Oh, I love it. And I love, I mean, I don't know, you know, human design is like a whole nother modality. I know probably some people watching this video will be familiar with human design. It's another self-inquiry to help you learn more about yourself, based on the tree of life, the I Ching, astrology, a couple other things. But part of my mission in my human design is I have what I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's called the artist agent. And so I love to connect people. I love to promote people. I love to help people any way I can. I'm always giving referrals, you know, and so especially the people I really resonate with. And Sarah and I go way back, actually. And it's funny how people will come back into your life at perfect timing. So now we have this very similar soul mission and, you know, kind of intention of, you know, helping people, being of service. So it's really beautiful to reconnect in this way. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but a lot of people may know Sarah. She may look familiar to you because she's also a local musician and singer. So I think people probably have connected with you in that way, but didn't know that you also offer energy healing practitioner, you know, so it's kind of fun.
Definitely.
So I did have another question for you, Sarah. And then I think after this question, would you mind sharing with us like one small polarity therapy practice that people at home can kind of practice and take with them?
Sure, I'd love to.
Awesome. So I was kind of joking earlier because polarity therapy, a lot of times when I was speaking to my clients, I say, we are souls in human body living in this world of polarity and learning from polarity, opposites. A lot of times we learn from extremes and opposites. So we're living in polarity. So I was kind of joking about it. And I said, you know, Sarah mentioned, she was like, oh, how does polarity therapy relate to everything we're dealing with right now, the current energies? So I was like, oh, that's a great question because, you know, we are experiencing polarity and extremes right now, aren't we, Sarah?
Definitely. Yeah.
Want to tell us a little more about that as it relates to the question, just how does it relate with what we're going through right now?
Well, I would say how polarity plays in with energetically in the body in polarity therapy is that every element has a negative, a neutral, and a positive pole. So like the air element, the negative pole is the ankles, the neutral pole is the kidneys, and the positive pole is the shoulders. So it's not polarity in that way, that where we think about where we are with society or actually in the world right now. But I would say that in general, a lot of people are imbalanced with the air element. And then also the earth element kind of ties into that too, because earth is really, you know, safety and structure.
Right.
And that's kind of been, that rug has kind of been pulled out from under us.
Right.
And everything is very uncertain right now. There's so much change. So I could see where people are not feeling safe, are you know, just unsure about the structure of things. Everything is, the structure of everything has changed.
I know.
Yeah. And then air, I mean, even before this, in general, in our culture, air gets out of balance, because if air is balanced, you have plenty of fun in your life.
Okay, maybe I need to work on that one.
Yeah, like plenty of fun and laughter.
Not so serious.
Yeah. So I think that, and then air can also play into overthinking.
Yes.
And that's where the earth comes in to ground and balance. So, I think that it's very common for people to be imbalanced right now and feel imbalanced. And there are so many ways. That's the beautiful thing, is there's so many ways that we can help ourselves to get back in balance.
Yeah.
Polarity therapy is just one of them. But so that's kind of, I guess, overall where I would guess that people are out of balance in their bodies from a polarity perspective, in their energy fields.
Yeah. When you were talking about the elements, water also came up for me, like learning how to free flow. Like, this is changed, that's changed. Let me move, like a rock is coming up. Let me, and people often talk about with energetics being in the flow. So, when you talked about the elements, I'm thinking about all these things: air with the mind, and earth being grounded, and water. We all need to learn a little more how to be like water right now, right? And stay out of the mind a little more.
Yeah. But also, I mean, like we said, it's a play of all of the elements together. Nothing is static. But, also fire is important right now too.
Absolutely.
Because we have to empower ourselves. Now is not the time to depend on the government. Now is not the time to depend on pills to fix the problem. Now is the time to go inside.
Yes.
And find the strong person, the divine sovereign person inside of yourself.
Yep.
And do what we know we need to do, know?
Yes.
And if you're feeling, weak, that's totally understandable. Everybody feels down sometimes. Everybody feels weak sometimes. And that's why we have these beautiful tools to help pull ourselves back up and back out.
Yes. Yeah. We don't have to go it alone. You know what I mean? Like, there are, different tools and modalities that can help us along the way. And yes, I feel like we're all collectively stepping into our sovereignty, as you mentioned before, and that can be done in different ways. And yes, fire lends to that little bit of action there too. But doing inner work is one of the most powerful things you can do, and going within, because what happens is you raise your vibration exponentially when you cleanse and clear the old. And when you release those blockages, you literally become a conduit for source love to work through. And so that's what a lot of us are doing. Woo, woo, woo. Is we're becoming that clear conduit, right? So that we can share and step into our full authenticity, into our hearts. Let's open our hearts back up. It's important. That is totally me. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. We're human navigating this.
That's right. Challenges come up, and you know what you do? You roll, you go with the flow.
That's right.
So, Sarah, that was so beautiful. Thank you for all your sharings. Gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
You're so amazing.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
Oh, thank you.
We are mirrors reflecting each other's light, right?
Yes, yes. And we step into that source love, because then we're just mirrors for each other. We're walking each other home, right? And though what Ram Dass said, just helping walk each other home. We're, spirit and human body having a fully human experience, all the emotions, and sometimes we just want to be in that spiritual place most of the time, but we're here to be human and, fully experience the human experience. So we have tools that can help us with that, because it is not easy. It is not. And it's very easy to get out of balance, And people don't realize that it affects everything: mind, body, spirit. It's all connected. So just being a little off balance can really affect some people. you know?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm excited about learning your technique that you're going to share, a polarity therapy technique.
Oh, thank you. Well, there are a lot of polarity exercises that are super fun and active, but because of this medium right here, right now, we're just going to do something really simple, super simple. It's called brain buttons, and it helps with the ether element. And the ether element is probably the hardest to comprehend because it's space, but I kind of think of it as it's like the element that holds all the other elements. It's like
Ooh,
a
I like that.
container of the element of these other elements. And the feeling of ether is like when you're on the mountaintop looking out over everything, and it's just like or like looking out over the ocean, and you just feel the immensity of everything and the smallness of everything,
Yeah.
at the same time. And so that's ether. And so this can kind of help us get into that place. So if you're in a place where you can stand up, you can go ahead and stand up and have your feet together and your knees slightly bent, but I'm going to stay seated. And if you need to stay seated, you can as well. So place your left hand over your navel and your right hand over your heart. Allow the eyes to close. And then just breathe deeply. Notice the rise and fall with the breath, expansion and contraction. Notice any sensations under the hands. And then keeping the eyes closed, switch the hands. So the right hand over the navel and the left hand over the heart. And just take another few deep breaths in and out. Noticing the sensations in your body. If you're standing, this may be a bit of a balance challenge as well. And after the next exhalation, slowly open the eyes. And that also, it integrates the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. So balancing out the brain and then connecting us with that expansive, calm ether element. So anytime, that's so simple, and it's easy. You can do it anywhere. You can do it at your desk. If you're in the office, you can do it while you're at a stoplight.
Yeah.
A really quick little reset
Mm-hmm.
that you can give yourself, just a little treat.
Yeah, that was good. This takes you to a place of calm. It felt like too, like if you get triggered and let me just reset for a quick second. Let me go back in my body instead of being triggered by anything external. Felt like that would be a good exercise to practice then too.
Yes, totally.
That was really nice.
Thank you.
So, Sarah, I know you also are a yogi, and you also have a business that you do as well, or another product that you offer, which is your hemp. So if you can tell us a little more about that, and then I know you have a little special offering around the hemp as well.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so like I said, everything that I do kind of helps with that mission of people coming home to their true selves and expressing that. And one thing I didn't mention about polarity, but yoga too, all these things, is the interaction with the nervous system. And stress and, chronic stress is really underlying a lot of the health issues that we have today, from mental health to physical health, emotional health. And so hemp really, that's, could be the subject of a whole nother interview.
Right. And we may do that later. Stay tuned.
With the endocannabinoid system, but the endocannabinoid system, which hemp helps to regulate and feed and nourish, regulates the nervous system. And we have the fight or flight, the sympathetic, and then the rest and digest, the parasympathetic. And if you come in for a polarity session, you definitely get into the parasympathetic, rest and digest, which is where you really need to be for healing to take place.
Right.
Where you need to be for detoxification to take place. The deep, deep healing happens when you are in the parasympathetic nervous system, and hemp helps you get there really quickly. So it's really a beautiful thing to incorporate with meditation, with yoga, with other healing modalities. And my special offer for this little interview today is, this is a 5 ampule little trial pack. So if you can see that.
Nice, yeah.
And we'll put a link where you can get this for free. Just pay shipping and handling, and it will be shipped straight to you. And this could either last, I really recommend people start slow if you aren't already using a CBD product. So if you could do half an ampule a day, and this would last 10 days.
Yeah.
So it would give you a good chance to experience it. So yeah, very happy to offer that today to people so they can experience, some people aren't comfortable coming in for sessions right now. And so this is a way that you can every day take care of yourself to bring a little bit more balance in.
Yeah. And what's the name of the company, Sarah?
The company is Prime My Body. This product is called Focus. And we have several different products, but this one is really incredible for brain health. It's high in CBG, which is a different cannabinoid than CBD, but it's super powerful. It's a neuroprotectant, and it's neuroregenerative. So anyone that's had head injuries, traumatic brain injuries, or anything brain related, focus, mood problems, it's very helpful.
Awesome. Yay. That's exciting. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for being here with us today. And I'm trying to think is there anything else that you'd like to share just as a closing?
I guess I'll just share that I am open, taking the precautions. So if you're comfortable wearing a mask, you can feel free to come in and see me for a session. I'm also teaching 3 yoga classes a week, which is another way to balance your energy and stay healthy. And so feel free to contact me by text, phone call, email. We can put all that information down below.
Nice. And are you doing any distance sessions? Like, do you ever meet with people over Zoom if they have some questions or anything like that?
I'd be happy to do that, to answer questions. I have not started doing actual sessions virtually. I know some of my colleagues have started that. It's just not something I'm quite comfortable doing. But I know some people are having fantastic results. So if you, already have a practitioner and want to try it could be a really good thing.
Well, and the numbers are a lot, getting lower now, with the virus. And it's like, you obviously follow very safe practices and, limited number of people in your, office space, which is small as well. So, yeah.
And I really encourage people to, like I said, take your power back, do what you need to do to boost your immune system, to keep yourself healthy. And there are lots of so many ways out there to do that. And yeah, I'm happy to help in whatever way I can, if for anyone that would like some guidance or some assistance.
Lovely. Okay, so we'll put your contact information in the same area where we're going to put the link for the hemp product, the complimentary gift that Sarah's offering. So again, thank you so much to everybody for joining us. And, feel free to reach out to Sarah if you have any questions for her, follow up on Polarity Therapy. Of course, it was just a little short intro today. There's so much more to it, of course, she explained it really well. But yeah, if you have any other questions, reach out to Sarah. And then I'm also going to put my contact information in the link as well in my website, or not in the link, in the post. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, I have some, listing of my offerings on my site as well, or any further questions I can answer as well. So thanks again to everyone. Thank you, Sarah. I'll see you soon for my session.
Okay, wonderful.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.